The plate slipped in her trembling hands before she caught it. Barely, the porcelain clinking against her palm. Emma's breath hitched. Man blocking her path, Dean Kessler, the town's most notoriously entitled businessman, leaned closer. His voice low and oily as he cornered her between the service counter and the wall. "Come on, sweetheart," he whispered, his fingers brushing her wrist, despite her pulling away. "Nobody needs to know. I can make life a lot easier for you." The cafe hummed behind them, unaware. But inside Emma, a storm roared. "Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're rewatching from. I love knowing who's listening." She had handled rude customers, harsh shifts, and days that felt endless, yet nothing made her heart pound like this man's unwanted closeness. She could smell the cologne he drowned himself in. She could feel the heat of his breath. Worst of all, she could feel her own fear creeping up her spine, cold as winter water. Emma tried to step back, but the wall stopped her. "Sir, please. I need to get back to work. You need to think about your future," Dean murmured, his tone turning from charm to threat. "And whether you want this job to stay yours." Her throat tightened. For a moment, she hated how powerless she felt. She thought she'd never see him again. She was wrong, because at that exact second, the tiny bell over the door chimed, and the room shifted. A gust of cold air drifted in as a man stepped inside, broad-shouldered, steady-eyed. Dressed in a plain dark jacket, with the calm posture of someone used to evaluating threats in milliseconds. Noah, Emma's husband. Recently returned from deployment. Navy SEAL. Most people didn't recognize him when he walked into a room. But everyone felt him. Emma's heart fluttered with a mix of relief and panic. She didn't want a scene. She didn't want trouble. But Noah's gaze swept the room like a searchlight tan landed on her. And on the man pinning her in the corner, Noah froze. A hush spread across the cafe like winter frost. Conversations died. Forks paused midair. Even the espresso machine seemed to quiet itself, as if the building knew something was about to snap. Dean finally noticed the stillness. "What's everyone looking at?" he muttered, then turned. Noah stood just feet away. His jaw clenched once. That was all. No yelling. No theatrics. Just a silent, searing focus that made Dean step back without realizing it. "Noah," Emma whispered, her voice small but steady. Dean straightened his expensive jacket, forcing a laugh. "Oh, hey ho, we're just talking. Nothing serious." Noah's voice, when it finally arrived, came low and controlled, the way a tide pulls back before a storm. "You had your hands on my wife." Whispers rippled through the room. A couple at a table leaned forward. Someone near the window murmured, "That's her husband," Dean scoffed. "Look, man, don't get emotional." "She should be grateful." Noah stepped closer. Not fast, not dramatic, just deliberate. The air tightened. "You don't speak about her," he said softly. "Not like that. Not ever." Dean's arrogance flickered. For the first time, he seemed unsure. "But you think your military playtime makes you tough?" A moral tension rose thick, suffocating. Emma feared Noah would break him. Part of her feared he wouldn't, and the crowd felt it too, shifting uneasily, torn between wanting justice and wanting calm. Emma reached for Noah's arm. "Please," she whispered. "Don't let him drag you down." Her words hit him harder than any punch could. He inhaled deeply, steadying himself. Then Noah turned not to Dean, but to the room, his voice gentle now, warm. "Look, she didn't deserve that. No one does." A woman near the counter nodded. A quiet murmur of agreement moved through the cafe like a soft wave. Noah faced Dean again. "You're going to leave now?" Dean's smirk returned, but weaker. "Yeah. And if I don't, you will. Not a threat. I promise." Dean's eyes darted around, realizing no one was on his side, not even the staff he once bullied. The crowd's silence weighed on him like a verdict. Finally, with a muttered curse, he turned toward the door, but he wasn't done. Just as he reached the exit, he spun. "You think this is over? You can't protect her forever." Noah didn't flinch. "I don't have to. She can protect herself. In this town," he gestured gently at the people watching, "one tea let you hurt anyone again?" For the first time, guilt flickered across Dean's face. Just a flicker. Then he pushed out into the cold. The door slammed behind him. The café exhaled. Someone near the back started clapping softly. Another joined, and another. Soon the entire room applauded, not just for Noah, but for Emma, for standing through fear, for speaking up, for being seen. Emma's breath finally steadied. Noah wrapped an arm around her shoulders, not possessively, but protectively, lovingly. "You okay?" he asked. She nodded. "Now I am." And in that moment, surrounded by warmth, whispers, and relief, Emma understood something. Strength wasn't always loud. Sometimes it was the courage to stay kind in a world that tried to break you. Sometimes it was knowing when to step back and when to stand up. Because kindness doesn't vanish, it waits, and it finds its way back. And as the bell above the door swayed gently, still echoing from Noah's entrance, Emma realized something poetic in its soft sound. The same door that let fear in had brought her safety back out. Thank you for listening, truly. If this story moved you, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Whispered Words for more stories that stay with you long after they end. Your story matters. Let's keep telling them together.